Hello and good day to everyone, especially in grade 10A and 10B. So for this day, we are going to discuss about the music in non-Western culture. So when we say music in non-Western culture, it involves different parts or different countries such as the Africa. Then later on, we're going to discuss about the music of Africa. But first, let's us have the characteristics on non-Western music. So meron po silang tatlo. And these are the following. First one, it reflects its supporting culture, followed by frequently linked with religion, dance, and drama. Then the last one is often used to communicate message and relate tradition. So first, let us have it reflects its supporting culture. Alam naman po natin na kapag sa music po, basically it pertains to our culture. So we have such traditions kung paano po tumugtog and for what reason kung anong merong music po meron sila. Like for example, if sa ceremonies, sa uri ng kasal, kapag uri naman din ng paglibing, so meron din po sila doon. So music also tells about the culture of such particular regions, especially in Africa or other countries, then meron din naman dyan na nalalaman kung anong uri ng lugar based doon sa music. Like for example, sa Philippines, 'di ba? Kapag pinapatugtog natin yung sayaw na tugtog ng budots, so alam naman natin kung saan particular region matatagpuan yun or nag-originate. So ganun po yung uri po nun. So how about frequently linked with religion, dance, and drama? Ibig sabihin lang po nito, isa sa mga karakteristik po nila is yung kapag nagkakaroon sila ng iba't ibang uri ng mga music or ng musical performance, it pertains for also in a religion. 'Di ba? Alam naman natin kapag sa uri po ng mga non-Western, like for example ng Africa, is yung uso sa kanila dyan yung mga rituals, 'di ba? So bago sila mag-start ng ritual, sinasamahan nila yan ng pagtugtog ng iba't ibang uri ng mga music na accompanied by the musical instrument. 'Di ba? Then like for example sa dance, 'di ba? Especially sa Africa kapag nagkakaroon sila ng uri ng mga festival or ng mga gatherings, 'di ba? Nagkakaroon ng bonfire, then sa paikot ng bonfire, sumasayaw sila doon together with the music. Then sa drama, same lang din po 'yun. Then the third one is often used to communicate messages and relate traditions. Alam naman natin, 'di ba, na maraming iba't ibang uri ng tribo sa Africa or sa non-Western. So, isa sa mga characteristic po ng music po nila doon is for them to communicate by means of music and also to relate their traditions. 'Di ba? Meron tayong like for example, din sa Pilipinas, marami tayong iba't ibang uri ng mga tribo. So, bawat uri ng tribo, may kanya-kanya silang karakteristik ng kanilang music. So, ayun po yung pinaka-karakteristik na tinatawag po nating non-Western music. So, paano naman nila yon ipinapasa sa kanilang mga susunod na mga generation? By means of oral tradition. So, oral tradition frequently transmitted by oral. From the word oral tradition, ibig sabihin po, kung ano yung pinaka-basic ng kanilang music is tinuturo po sa mga susunod na henerasyon. Like for example, sa mga kabataan po nila, by means of oral lang. Kung ano lang yung sinasabi, hindi naman kasi uso dati diba yung mga recordings, di ba? So, by that time, walang ganong instrument or mga gadgets na ginagamit. So, pinaka-way nila para mapasa ang kanilang tradition is by means of oral. Then followed by music notation far less important than in Western culture. Alam naman po kasi natin, 'di ba? So previous lesson po natin, kinakailangan ng mga music notation or tinatawag natin yung mga nota. Yung pinagawa ko po sa inyo nung project po ninyo. Yun, sa kanila po kasi it's more hindi naman ginagamit yun kasi free type of music po meron sila. And hindi sila sumusunod sa mga tempo or mga tinatawag na melody. Sa ibang mga tribes po yun. So, many cultures do not have a music notation. Yun nga sinasabi ko na hindi po sila sumusunod sa katanong uri ng music notation. Kung ano lang yung mapiplay nila by means of their body parts together with a musical instrument, yun na lang po talaga yun. Hindi sila tumitingin pa sa pinaka-musical chords. 'Di ba? Like for example, sa mga classic opera, 'di ba? magkakaroon dyan ng mga tinatawag na conductor. Tapos lahat ng mga musicians tumitingin sa pinaka-musical chord or musical notation. Doon sila tumitingin kung ano yung kung ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga notes para pumaplay ng isang mga musicalist. So sa part po ng non-Western culture, hindi po yun or less yung paggamit po nila nun. So when they do, kung meron naman po sila, it serve as a record, not for teaching or performance. So another characteristic of non-Western music is by means of improvisation. From the word improvise, so yun, improvisation is frequently basic to the music. So unlike po dun sa mga previews na pinag-aralan po ninyo, especially nung grade 9 kayo, yung mga classical music, romantic music, di ba? This time po sa non-Western music po, hindi po sila gumagamit ng kahit ano pang uri ng mga alam niyo na, mga musical chords, 'di ba? Kung ano lang po yung mga lalabas or kung ano yung mga magiging resulta ng tunog doon sa kanilang mga musical instrument, as is na po yun. Wala po silang sinusundan ng mga musical notes. Like for example, kung whole note ba yung pagtugtog, kailangan buo 4 beats yung ibibigay. Halimbawa naman kapag quarter note, ilang beats yung ibibigay. Wala pong ganun sa kanila. By means of improvise lang, kung ano lang yung meron sa kanila, yun lang po talaga yung pinaka-nurture po nila. Improvisation usually based on traditional melodic phrases and rhythmic. So, yun po yung ibig sabihin po nun, na hindi sila gumagamit ng mga musical notation, 'di ba? Less. Pero alam na agad nila once na tumunog po yung kanila, once nakarinig sila ng tugtog, doon na sila magbe-base. Tatandaan lang po nila kung saan po tumataas, bumababa, or mahaba po yung isang uri ng mga tunog. So, another characteristic naman po ng non-Western music is yung voices, 'di ba? Alam naman natin na pinaka-old human instrument old musical instrument po na ginagamit po ng tao is yung ating mga boses, 'di ba? So yung pinaka way po nila ng paggamit po ng iba't ibang uri ng mga musical instrument is naka-base din po sa pinaka-boses po nila. Singing usually main way of making music. 'Di ba? Alam naman natin 'yon. Like for example, nito, yung shouting, yelling, ano ba yung iba't ibang napuproduce ng mga human voice. Like for example, whispering, 'di ba? Yung crying, it is a form of music. It is a form of sound, but in their particular time, it is a form also of music. So ano pa po, magbigay pa po ng halimbawa. Pwede naman din yung iba't ibang uri ng mga plucking ng mga katawan po natin. Like for example, yung mga pagbi-beatbox. Pero that time, I think wala pa namang nauusong beatbox doon. Ang meron lang sa kanila yung parang maingay na klok 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 klok, mga ganon. Hindi ko alam kung anong tawag sa ganung style ng uri ng music sa particular time nila. So, kung makabagong panahon na beatbox, sa time nila, parang ganun lang. Tapos, by means of any kinds of music, may mga message po yun na for us, hindi natin maiintindihan. Pero sa kanila, isa siyang uri ng mga message. Na pag once na kinanta yun, pinerform nila yun, nagbibigay sila ng message doon sa makakarinig. And especially kapag gagamit sila ng mga iba't ibang uri ng mga rituals. So, vocal approach, timbre, and techniques may vary throughout the world. Like for example, the nasal sound, the strained tone, the throat singing, and so forth. So now, let's move on to the musical instrument of non-Western music. 4 types based upon sound production. So ano nga ba yung 4 na mainly ginagamit nilang instrument? First, the membranophones. Alam naman natin kapag membranophones, ito yung uri ng mga instrument na may tinatawag na stretch skin. So usually, ang pinaka-ginagamit mo nilang musical instrument dyan is yung mga drums. Okay? Followed by chordophone. Stretch string naman. Kung kanina skin, 'di ba usually gawa yung kanilang mga drum sa mga balat ng mga hayop. So this time naman po stretch string naman. From the word string, string talaga. Ano Tagalog ng string? 'Yon, 'di ba? Pag sinabi natin string, pwedeng lubid or PC. So like ang halimbawa naman po noon is yung harp style or harp types. So, pangatlo naman po is yung tinatawag po nating aerophones. Alam naman po natin, di ba, na aerophones, ito yung pine-perform through breathing. So, isa po sa mga ginagamit po nilang instrument is yung flute and trumpets. Then, the last one naman po is yung idiophone, which is the instrument's body is sound as the generator. Like for example, yung bell, yung gongs, yung scrappers, or yung rattle. Ibig sabihin, for sure naman napag-aralan nyo na itong iba't ibang uri ng mga family of instruments. So, alam nyo naman yon. So, mag-move forward na po tayo. So, the characteristic also of non-Western music is about their style and application within culture causes particular types of instrument to dominate. Now, ang isa sa ginagamit po talaga ng mga African musician noon is yung tinatawag po nating rattles na nakatali po sa kanilang mga leeg. So, yun yung simpleng ginagamit po. Pero usually na laging nagagamit pag magpe-perform sila ng iba't ibang uri ng mga music. So, string allows great flexibility of pitch, followed by idiophones, membranophones, rhythmic emphasis naman po yun. Pag sinabi naman po nating aerophones, it serve as aid in outdoor performance. So, yung po yung tatlong particular types of instruments for them to dominate their performance in music. Again, kapag string daw pang ginagamit, it allows great flexibility of pitch. Kapag sa idiophones naman po and membranophones, it tells about the rhythmic emphasis. Then, pinakalas po, pag ginamit naman po nila yung aerophones instrument, it serves as the aid in outdoor performance. Then, we have geography and materials availability influence. Alam mo naman natin na lahat ng mga bansa is nagkaroon ng tinatawag na pananakop by means of so alam mo naman natin, 'di ba, kapag once na nasakop ang isang bayan or lugar or bansa, yung ibang mga tradition ng mga sumakop is na-adapt din natin. So ganun po yung nangyari din sa non-Western music. Then religion also influences instrumentation. Now, let us talk about the melody, rhythm, and texture of non-Western music. Most non-Western music is monophonic. Alam naman natin na pag sinabi natin monophonic, it means solo. Okay? Sometimes, it accompanied by a drone. Some culture use heterophony. It means all performance, same melody with different ornamentation. Followed by scales in non-Western music are frequently quite different than Western musical scale. It means intervals between tones can be larger or smaller. So, nakadepende po yan sa paggamit po nila ng instrument at kung paanong melody rhythm yung gagamitin po nila. Pwede daw po yung maging larger or maging smaller tones. Ibig sabihin, pwede rin yung when it comes to the duration, yung gaano kahaba or kaiksi yung isang performance or isang tunog na gagawin po. And naka-base din po yan, sinatawag po nating beats. Then lastly, much non-Western music has very complex rhythm. Ibig sabihin, kapag sinabi po natin complex rhythm, hindi siya basta-basta ma-perform. For what reason? Kasi nga po, hindi naman sila usually yung mga lugar sa non-Western music, hindi naman gumagamit at tinatawag po natin ulit na musical notation. So, ibig sabihin, hindi po nare-record yung pinaka natutugtog po nila. Once na halimbawa, ikaw napunta ka sa lugar po nila, then, yung pinaka-traditional music po nila is ganong uri ng style. Kapag once na ikaw naman mag-perform, hindi mo agad siya ma-perform katulad nung pagkaka-perform nila kasi nga wala ka namang pagbabasehan na tinatawag nating musical notation. Then, non-Western music has been greatly impacted by Western influences due to kung paano nga ba nagkaroon ng paano na-impluensyahan ang non-Western music. Meron tayong tatlo. First, increase in urbanization. Alam naman po natin, di ba, na sa non-Western music, it's more on tribes. Now, syempre, once naman na nagkakaroon ng, habang tumatagal, nagkakaroon ng urbanization, di ba? Katulad sa Pilipinas, nagkakaroon naman din urbanization. So, naging influence po ng kanilang music is yung tinatawag mong urbanization. Followed by spread of technology. Di ba? Hindi naman panghabang buhay na sa old stone age tayo na hindi tayo magkakaroon ng iba't ibang uri ng mga technologies. Then, followed by almost worldwide access to recorded music. Kung dati kasi hindi sila gumagamit ng musical notation and iba't ibang uri ng mga musical gadgets to record their performance. This time naman po, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating improvisation or nai-improvise na po or nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na innovation sa kanilang uri ng musical performance. So, some governments subsidize traditional music to preserve their cultural heritage. So, kung ikukumpara natin sa Philippines, meron naman din tayo tinatawag na subsidized traditional music. Ano yung purpose po noon? Ang purpose po noon is to preserve the cultural heritage such as yung mga kapatid nating mga Ifugao. So, mga ganun po yung style nila na pagpe-preserve. So, yung mga government daw po nung non-Western music is nagbibigay din na po ng subsidization when it comes to the traditional music para nga naman ma-preserve at hindi mawala yung pinaka-culture when it comes to their music. So now, let us discuss about the music of Africa. Now, the question is, ito po yung activity nyo po sa akin. Okay? This time po kasi, di ba, nasanay naman po kayo na ang activity is lagi nakikita sa Edmodo. But this time, malalaman natin kung sino talaga nanonood ng pre-recorded. So, for your activity and also serve as your assignment, you are going to look for the two subdivided Africa, which is the North Africa and the Sub-Saharan Africa. Ang alamin nyo lang po, ano mga bansa po ang sakop ni North Africa, together, ano naman din po ang sakop ni Sub-Saharan Africa na mga bansa or lugar. Okay? So now, let us move on. Africa was a Arab influence due to migration. So, alam naman po natin yan. Now, katulad lang din ng mga hayop Now, once na nagkaroon ng magandang pamamalakad yung isang lugar or nagkakaroon tayo ng, like for example, nahihirapan tayo sa isang lugar natin tapos kailangan natin mag-migrate. So, by means of migration, nagkakaroon ng iba't ibang uri ng influences. So, by means of Africa, ang pinaka-na-influence po sa kanila is yung tinatawag po natin mga Arab countries or Arab people. Ay, nalaglag. So, rhythm is the heart and soul of African tribal music. So next we have polyrhythm. Polyrhythm, it means simultaneous combination of contrasting rhythms in a musical composition. For Africans, music is not an art. It is an important part of their lives. For what reason? Bakit nga ba naging importante sa kanila ang pagtutugtog ng iba't ibang uri ng mga music? It is because of yung music kasi sa kanila naka-base doon sa tinatawag nating ceremonies or sa leisure. Like for example, ceremonies such as the birth, growing up, marriage, death, songs for the harvest, drinking or hunting. And minsan pa nga kahit nawawalan or natatanggalan ng ngipin yung mga tao sa kanila is nagkakaroon pa rin sila ng rituals doon. Next, it may be also a signal for others. So, for what reason? So, para malaman ng ibang mga tribes na mayroong mananakop sa lugar po nila, nagpapatugtog po sila ng iba't ibang mga musical instrument for them to have a signal na mayroong gustong manakop po sa kanila during a war. So, shamans use it to communicate with spirits, diba? Kung sa atin, may tinatawag tayong mga albularyo sa Africa, may tinatawag naman silang shamans. For what reason? Kung bakit ginagamit nila yung music ng mga shamans, it serve as the communication with the spirits nila. Okay, minsan yung mga ninuno pa nila, di ba alam naman natin na sa time nila, hindi sila naniniwala with the gods. So, ang alam nila may iba't ibang uri ng mga gods. So, responsorial song, it means there is one lead singer or group that declaims a refrain to be answered by the rest. So kung ihahalin tulad natin siya, para siyang isang orchestra na meron siyang isang leader na once na kumumpas yung ating tinatawag na conductor, magkakaroon sila ng tinatawag na response based doon sa pag-conduct and kung paano po nakasulat doon sa musical notation. But dito sa music man ng Africa, naka-base lang po yan sa kung ano po yung itutugtog or sasabihin po ng isang kanilang lead singer. So their singing is often accompanied by an ostinato. Ostinato, ano ibig sabihin ng ostinato? Is a repeated rhythmic pattern played by percussion instruments. So, influences in music. First, oral tradition. Yung kanina nabanggit na natin sa characteristic po na non-Western music. Followed by Arabic culture, na nasabi na rin po natin kanina. And followed by Western influence. Now, when it comes to the musical instrument, yung pinaka-ginagamit po talaga nila na instrument, dati pa, is yung tinatawag po nating rattles or any forms of idiophones that tied in their body. Makikita nyo yan sa page 12 ng inyong libro. So, musical instruments in Africa are used for masquerades, performances, ceremonies, and entertainment. It also used to talk to other people over a long distance. Diba? Nabanggit na natin kanina na kapag nagpe-perform sila ng music, it also tells some messages. Diba? And same din po ito sa Africa na once na nagpatugtog po sila ng ibang mga music, it tells other people at the long distance some messages. So third, most of their instruments belong to the percussion family. Made of materials around them are the following, yung wood, animal skin, and human bones, etc. So drums are the kings among the instruments that come in different sizes, shapes, and forms. So pinakasikat po na drum sa kanila is yung tinatawag po nilang talking drum, which is serve as sending message sa kanilang sa kanilang uri ng kanilang pagtugtog. So talking drum, most famous amongst the northern Nigeria. They use it to send messages in their language Yoruba. They are low pitch for the male, drums are high, and high pitch naman para naman po sa babae. So, modeled after the human torso. So, again, pag sinabi po nating talking drums, it means used to send message. So, ayun, narinig nyo ang commercial na gulay. Nyoma, also known as the kettle drums, pot shapes and usually played in the ground. It is vibrated by the hand or by revolving a stick that pierces the membrane. Sabi membrane, ito po yung balat po ng hayop. Okay, so paano po pinapatugtog yung drums? Alam niyo naman po yun, di ba? Kung paano patugtogin yung drums. Next, other percussion instrument, rattles and jingles. Played by striking, shaking, scrap, rub, plucked, or stamped against the ground. So, ito po yung ibang uri pa ng mga musical instrument po nila. So, yung piano. Alam ko meron ako na nakita sa school na gumagamit nito. Hindi ko lang alam kung anong grade level yun. Consists of a number of small strips or tongues or bamboos or metal fastened above a wooden sounding board. Next, we have the bow or the bow. Pluck or stroke with a stick, but one traditional way of playing them is to grip one end with the teeth so that the player's mouth will act as their resonator. Nakakaloka naman itong paggamit nito. Then next is the obukano, an African lyre, lute-like instrument. Then we have the kora, 21-string instrument which produce a sound between a harp and that of a guitar. So, doon lang po natatapos ang ating lesson sa ating music for the second grading. Again, your activity and also serve as your assignment. You're going to look for the countries under the North Africa and the Sub-African country. So, goodbye and God bless.